Hello there, welcome to our third virtual pub quiz. It's Good Friday, I hope you've had a really good week. Obviously it's Good Friday, so it means it's fasting and abstinence today. Fasting, do that obviously, but abstaining from going outside, that's the important one. Last week, top score I heard was 42. Whoever that was, I'm kind of doubting that a little bit, but maybe you're just a brainiac, so well done on you for getting 42 out of 52. So I've got another 4 rounds for you this week. I think we'll just crack on with it. I've got 4 rounds, one of which is the music round, and I've got a little twist on that one again this week. So, in terms of shout outs, no one's had any kids this week, so again, it's a short intro. Let's just move on. Round 1 is going to be literature, because I'm hoping if you don't have young kids in the house, you're able to maybe sit down and read a nice book. If you do have young kids, obviously the books you're reading are something along the lines of Jack and the Beanstalk or something like that. But I'm hoping we're all having the opportunity to read a book from now, because we've got a bit of time, haven't we? So, round 1, literature. 10 questions. Question number 1. What I'd like to do is to tell me which book this opening line came from. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom. That is the opening line from what book? Question 2. Prospero is a character from which Shakespeare play? Prospero is a character from which Shakespeare play? Question number 3. When is Harry Potter's birthday? When is Harry Potter's birthday? Technically, by the way, it's 1980. 1980. But what day was his birthday? What date in the calendar year is his birthday? Question number 4. In 2012, Michael Gove sent a copy of what to each state each state school in England? What did Michael Gove send a copy of to every single state school in England in 2012? Well, it was more than an email. He actually sent something. It cost about £400,000 to do it. Question 5. The term wicked, meaning to be good or cool, not wicked as in like a witch, evil, but the term wicked came from what famous American author? The term wicked, to be used in a good way, came from what famous American author? Naturally, they'd be famous because they're in a quiz, which means I'd hope some of you would know his name, but you get the gist. Question 6. Now, I like this one. When I was speaking to someone about it recently, so if you don't get this, you know who you are. What film adaptation of a lovable children's book character was recently banned in China? What film adaptation of a lovable children's book character was recently banned in China? It's quite a funny one. So, what children's book or character was recently banned in China? The year was 2018. They probably banned quite a lot in China. Probably banned quite a lot. If you've got a Huawei phone, be careful. Anyway, moving on to question 7. If anyone in China is actually watching this, I don't know how you're doing that because you shouldn't get YouTube. But anyway, good luck to you if you are. Question 7. What is a top-selling novel of all time? What is a top-selling novel of all time? What's a top-selling novel of all time? That was a bit wonky, I think. It doesn't matter. So that's question 7. What's a top-selling novel of all time? Question number 8. Again, this is quite cool. I didn't know this, but it's quite cool. What was a name given to the act of smelling books? A lot of people like smelling new books or just books in general. They're not weird. It's just a little thing that people do. But what is a name given to the act of smelling books? Question number 9. The Snoscumber comes from what book? The Snoscumber comes from what book? And question 10, last question for round 1. J.B. Priestley, author of Inspector Calls, was born in what UK city? I'll give you a clue, it's the same one as my dad. Born in what UK city? So, question number 1, it was the best of times, It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. That's the opening lines from what book? Prospero is a character from which Shakespeare play? When is Harry Potter's birthday? Question 3. Question 4. Michael Gove sent a copy of what to each state school in England? Question 5. The term wicked comes from what American author? Question 6. What film adaptation of a lovable children's book character was recently banned in China? 7. What's the top-selling novel of all time? Question 8. What was the name given to the act of smelling books? The Snoscumber comes from what book? And number 10. J.B. Priestley was born in what UK city? So total up your scores if you're doing it that way. If you're not, just carry on. We'll just move on to round 2. Now, look, I don't agree with the guy. In fact, really don't like him that much, but bless him, he's hostile. I thought we'd do round 2 on Boris Johnson. Bojo, fair play, he's our Prime Minister. We do wish him well and hope he pulls through, just like everyone in hostile at this moment in time. It's a very sad time. But as a leader of our country, best wishes to him. Let's hope he gets out. He's out of ICU now, but either way, we are rooting for you, Boris, even though I'm a Labour supporter. But anyway, moving on. Boris Johnson. So this round's going to be questions about Boris Johnson. Everything that we know about him anyway. Stuff that has come out in kind of lawsuits and kind of just in tabloid journalism. So these are questions based on Boris Johnson. Question number 1. What was Boris Johnson's first name? And I'll give you a clue, it's not Boris. Boris Johnson has a first name. And by the way, it's not Pfeffel, which is another one of his names. So what's his first name? Question 2. Boris Johnson made his name as a journalist. Whether it was a good one or not, I can't really comment on that. But he was a journalist. He was sacked by what newspaper for fabricating a quote? What newspaper was he sacked by? Question 3. What hospital was Boris Johnson admitted to this week? So what hospital was Boris Johnson admitted to this week? One of my favourite TV shows. Question number 4. How many times has Boris Johnson appeared on Have I Got News For You, both as a guest and a host? In total, how many times has Boris Johnson appeared on Have I Got News For You? Last week I did a gaffe with Jeremy Hunt. Well, Boris Johnson's had a fair few gaffes. I'm sure we can all remember some of them. My favourite one has to be rugby tackling a kid when he was on a tour of what country? So question number 5, Boris Johnson accidentally rugby tackled a kid to the ground whilst visiting what country? YouTube it, it's very funny. As well as the kind of the tightrope one. I was in a tightrope and just kind of got stuck in the middle of it. He's a plonker really, isn't he? Some would say a lovable plonker. Question 6. Not including his current baby on the way, how many children does Boris Johnson officially have? So not including the baby with Carrie Symonds. How many children does he officially have? And that's the saying officially, there might be more, I don't know, but officially. Question number 7. Haven't read it. I hear it's meh. But in 2014, Boris Johnson wrote a biography of what famous politician? Boris Johnson wrote a biography of what famous politician in 2014 whilst he was Mayor of London. I don't know how he managed to do that. Question number 8. Boris Johnson was famously part of what exclusive and secretive Oxford University club? So he's famously part of what exclusive and secretive Oxford University club? And question number 9. Boris Johnson was Mayor of London for how many years? Mayor of London for how many years? And question number 10. In 2018, Boris Johnson's sister appeared in what celebrity game show? She appeared in what celebrity game show? So that was question 10. Question number 1 is what was Boris Johnson's first name? Question 2, he was a journalist sacked by what newspaper? He was admitted to hospital. What hospital? Question 3. Question 4. How many times has Boris Johnson appeared on Have I Got News for You? Question 5. Boris Johnson accidentally rugby tackled a kid in what country? Not including his current baby on the way. How many children does Boris Johnson officially have? Question 7. Boris Johnson wrote a biography in 2014 about what famous politician? Question number 8. Boris Johnson was famously a part of what exclusive and secretive Oxford University club? Question 9. Boris Johnson was married in London for how many years? Question number 10. In 2018, Boris Johnson's sister appeared in what celebrity game show? You know what? I really probably could do this quiz a lot quicker if I just read through them really quick. Because I know that's quite a normal, annoying thing about these pub quizzes. They take about 3 hours. So, hey, if you want me to go quicker next time, I won't do it this week, but if you want me to go quicker, email me. Or message me, I don't mind. But let me know if you want me to go quicker. Right, so round 3. This is the music round, and I'm going to play 11 songs, again, because I'm worried about copyright, just like it was last year. Last year. Feels like 3 weeks, do feel like a year with the boredom, but anyway. It's all about music, and I'm going to be playing you a song from a film. And what I want you to do is to tell me the film that it comes from and the year that this film was originally released. So you're going to tell me what film it came from and the year it was released. Now, this is all YouTube dependent, of course. I'm hoping that it doesn't mess up. And so you're going to tell me the film it came from. Now, it could be a little bit tricky if it comes from like a film series. If it's from multiple films in a series, I apologise. We'll get to that later when we go through the rounds in terms of marking, but we can just talk about maybe half a mark if you get the film series. But I want the film and the year. And again, I might be nice. I'll give you within a year. So a year either side. It's slightly different to last week when it was asking you for the decade. Slightly harder. So here is song number 1. That was song number 1. Song number 1. This is song number 2. That was song number 2. Song number 3. This might be a little bit quieter, this one. Song number 3. That was song number 3. Song number 4. I'm going to play this one a lot long because I love this song. Such a good song. And I hope it gets stuck in your head. Excellent song. So that was song number 4. Song number 4. Excellent song. For my sins. The song number 5. Song number 5. watched that with my niece, and you know what? I didn't hate it, and it was really good film, really good film. So that is song number 5. Song number 6. Song number 6. I love this one. That was song number 6. That was number 6. Number 7. This is song number 7. Should get this. Song number 7. On to song number 8. Good on this. Song number 8. Song number 9. This is going well so far, as in YouTube's not glitching or my laptop's not dying. So this is song number 9.
What's the sense in sharing this one and only life? Ending up just another lost and lonely wife. You count up the years, and they will be filled with tears. Love only breaks up.
That was number 9, song number 9. On to song number 10. Oh, here we go. Song number 10. So I'm going to do another one just because, again, I'm worried that when I process this on YouTube, it won't let me have all of them. So this is song number 11. So again, there's 22 marks available for this round. So this is song number 11. Very catchy song. You should maybe know this. Great song. Okay, so a reminder, that's round 3. There's 11 songs. If one's muted on this video, that's because I'm not allowed to play it. But anyway, there's 11 songs, and what I'd like you to do is name the film that it was in. So the film and the year that the film was released. So the film and the year it was released. So that was round 3. Feel free to have a break, but obviously it's Good Friday, so there's no fasting. So don't go grab a chocolate from the fridge. Don't go and abstain from going out the window and going into the garden or whatever, because it's Good Friday. So we're just going to move on to round 4. Going on to round 4. This is, of course, the general knowledge. General knowledge, round 4. Some people's favourite round, some people's worst round, some people's meh round. It's just a round, isn't it? So, round 4. 10 questions. Well, technically 11 questions if you count the bonus question at the end. Question number 1 of round 4. The new leader of the Labour Party, Keir Starmer, is named after which politician? The new leader of the Labour Party, Keir Starmer, is named after which politician? This is a good one. Question number 2. How many land borders does Italy share with other countries? So how many land borders does Italy share with other countries? If you've got a globe in your house or a map, don't look at it. So if you're the Novax, naughty, if you're looking at your big map on your wall. Question number 3. In the field of rowing, or the sport of rowing, and this is competitive rowing, not kind of just row your boat on the Thames, which we're not allowed to do anymore. But if you are going down the Thames and at Richmond, you see people rowing on the stream. I don't mean that. I mean actual kind of Steve Redgrave kind of rowing sport. In the field of rowing, a pair, so the boat, a pair, has how many oars? A pair has how many oars? So that's question 3. Question number 4, it's Good Friday. Mentioned that a couple of times now, but obviously we have to have a question about Good Friday. So this is all about Stations of the Cross. Who helped, so for question 4, who helped Jesus carry the cross after falling for the first time? Who was the person who helped Jesus carry the cross after falling for the first time? Jesus fell for the first time. So that's question 4. Question 5. My birthday is the 26th of October. Obviously you all know that. It's in everyone's diary. Course. But the day before my birthday is the 25th of October, naturally. Well, what famous battle happened on the 25th of October? And as a little clue, as a little bit of a hint, St. Crispin's Day is the 25th of October. So what famous battle happened on the 25th of October, the day before my birthday? I think I know which one's a big event. Question number 6. In 2005, Dame Ellen MacArthur beat the world record for the fastest solo circumnavigation of the world. A pretty impressive feat, and we all did have a bit of a laugh at her kind of videos when it was a bit like kind of, what's that film where they're in the forest on their own, forgotten what it's called now. Blair Witch, that was it. Blair Witch on a boat. But pretty impressive. We shouldn't laugh because it was a really impressive feat. I mean, she broke the world record, so well done to Dame Ellen MacArthur. How long did it take her to circumnavigate the globe? How long did it take her to circumnavigate the globe? Question number 6. Question 7. Now, obviously, we've all got a load of new banknotes recently. I'm always, teaching it in Year 9 history, but Elizabeth Fry used to be on the back of the old £5 note. But who is the face? And I don't mean Queen Elizabeth II. But whose face is on the back of the new £20 note? Whose face is on the back of the new £20 note? That's question 7. Question number 8. Reasonably straightforward one. Amelia Earhart is famous for what? What's she famous for? Amelia Earhart. Question number 9. Question number 9. What was Richard Nixon's middle name? What was Richard Nixon's middle name? Now, I love my TV series, so there's a big clue in one of my favourite TV series of all time. But what was his middle name? Richard Nixon's middle name. And it wasn't Tricky. It wasn't Tricky. Sometimes people call him Tricky Dicky. Question number 10. Again, a bit worried about this one. Bit of a hint. But question number 10. TikTok, obviously quite a famous video sharing network, which I haven't downloaded, just like Instagram, but everyone else has. I'm just a Luddite when it comes to this kind of thing. But anyway, TikTok is a video sharing network which comes from which country? Which country is TikTok from? And question number 11, the random one that you don't have a hope of getting, although you might on this one. But it doesn't actually add to the scoreboard. You just get an extra point if you get it. But anyway, for the bonus question, the random one, the one that it doesn't really matter or no one really cares about. But question number 11, what is my favourite number? What is my favourite number? So question number 1 for round 4 was the new leader of the Labour Party, Keir Starmer, is named after which politician? How many land borders does Italy share with other countries? Question 3, in the field of rowing, a pair consists of how many oars? Question 4, who helped Jesus carry the cross after falling for the first time? The 25th of October, what famous battle happened on the 25th of October? Not this year as well, well, last year. Question 6, in 2005, Dame Ellen MacArthur beat the world record for fastest circumnavigation of the world. How long did it take her? Number 7, whose face is on the back of the new £20 note? Amelia Earhart is famous for what? What was Richard Nixon's middle name? And TikTok is a video sharing network originating from which country? Which country? So, a lot of people are doing it, kind of they're taking pictures of each round and then putting it on their YouTube, on their WhatsApp group, or they're kind of doing it however they're doing it. I don't really mind. But what we're going to do now is, again, if you want to pause it and just replay it on if you fast forward on YouTube, it's actually really funny. So you can kind of double speed it if there's any questions you've missed. But we're just going to go down to round 1 and give you the answers, because obviously we've got a lot to be getting on with. But we don't. But anyway, we're going to move on with round 1 anyway. So literature. Ready for the answers. Pens in hands, or hands on phones if you're doing it electronically. Question number 1. What was this? Yeah, there we go. This is the line from what book? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom. That's the opening line from A Tale of Two Cities. Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities. Question 2. Prospero is a character from which Shakespeare play? It is The Tempest. Never liked Prospero. Always thought he wasn't a very nice person. I mean, just look at how he treats the characters. Question 3. Harry Potter's birthday is the 31st of July. So he would technically be 40 years old if he was real. He'd be 40 years old this July, but it's also the same date as J.K. Rowling's birthday. It's also the 31st of July. Right, Michael Gove. Question 4. Sent a copy of the King James Bible. I'd be interested to know how many schools actually read that. As in, I'm sure a lot of people have read the Bible, but actually said, thanks, Michael. Really appreciated that. Spending all that money on a King James Bible. Could have done with a lot of other things, like books that haven't been written. Question number 5. The term wicked, meaning to be good or cool, came from what famous American author? It's F. Scott Fitzgerald. F. Scott Fitzgerald. What film adaptation of a lovable children's book character was recently banned in China? It's Winnie the Pooh. Because apparently Winnie the Pooh looks like Xi Jinping. So they banned it. And I've forgotten what the film is with. Ewan McGregor. I watched it in the cinema. It was a really good film. But Winnie the Pooh is a character. So if you got Winnie the Pooh, good on you. Or if you got the film that it's about, fair enough. Question 7. What was the top-selling novel of all time? Now, novel. So not necessarily the Bible or anything else, or Chairman Mao's Little Red Book. But this is a novel, and it is Don Quixote. Don Quixote. Maybe because it's quite an old book. Question number 8. What was a name given to the act of smelling book? Bibliosmia. Bibliosmia. So when you smell a book, or you like the smell of a new book, it's called bibliosmia. The Snozcumber comes from what book? Of course, it's the BFG by Roald Dahl. 6'6", apparently he was. Number 10. J.B. Priestley came from what UK city? It's Bradford. Bradford. J.B. Priestley. I won't do a Bradford accent because I'll offend people. So, that was round 1. Round 2. Around about Boris Johnson. Now, obviously, no one's an expert on Boris Johnson except for Boris Johnson. But I thought, well, sending a bit of love to the guy. Right, question number 1. What is Boris Johnson's first name? Is Alexander. So it's Alexander Boris Pefeffel Johnson. I might have mispronounced Pefeffel. But it's Alexander. Question number 2. He's famous as a journalist and he was sacked by The Times by fabricating a quote from from a historian. That was actually his godfather. But he made a quote up and so he got sacked. It's a big no-no in the journalistic world. Question 3. Boris Johnson was admitted to hospital at St Thomas's, just across the river from Westminster. Boris Johnson has appeared on Have I Got News For You a total of 6 times. A total of 6 times. Boris Johnson accidentally tackled a child whilst playing rugby in Japan. So when he was foreign secretary and he was kind of running with the ball and fell into the kid. The kid was okay. Question number 6. Not including his current baby, how many children does Boris Johnson officially have? We had 4 with his second wife, and he had 1 which he had put an injunction in to basically didn't want to announce that he had a child by someone else. But he's apparently officially got 5, although there are rumours he's got others. But I didn't look into it that much. So if there's more, apologies. But if you've got 5, fair enough. Anyway, I shouldn't be apologising for if there's more children Boris Johnson's had. Question number 7. Boris Johnson wrote a biography of Winston Churchill in 2014. Question number 8. Boris Johnson was famously a part of what exclusive and secretive Oxford Union club? It is the Bullingdon Club. Now, apparently at the same time, David Cameron was also in the Bullingdon Club, and Boris Johnson was the head of the Bullingdon Club. And so there's always been a bit of a friendly rivalry between the two of them. I'm not part of it, or never was a part of it, but that's what hearsay says, that they're both part at the same time. Question number 9. Boris Johnson was Mayor of London for how many years? 8 years. 8 years. Could have worked that out. Number 10. In 2018, Boris Johnson's sister appeared in what celebrity game show? It was Celebrity Big Brother. Celebrity Big Brother. Okay, so question number 1 of round 3. So I'm just going to play a little snippet so you remember what the song is. So this is number 1 from round 3, the music round. So I want the year the film was made and the film itself. Now that's the ending song from A New Hope, Star Wars A New Hope. Now if you put Star Wars, technically you're right, because that is what the film was called originally. And A New Hope was the name given to it afterwards. And it was 1977. 1977. So if you put Star Wars, you get a point, because that's completely right. And if you've got 1977, congratulations, you get another point. Again, like I said, be nice. Give yourself a point if you're a year out either side. So that was Star Wars. This is... So obviously that is Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean, and that was 2003. Some people sometimes get that mixed up with the Gladiator soundtrack because it's very similar. But yeah, that's Pirates of the Caribbean, 2003. If you put kind of The Curse of the Black Pearl, even better, because that's what it is. This one here... that was Lux Eternia from... Requiem for a Dream. Requiem from a Dream, and that is 2000, the year 2000. Next one, really like the first one. So that was number 4, and that is Catchy Song from Lego Movie 2. If you put Lego Movie, give yourself half a point. But it's Lego Movie 2, and that's 2019. 2019. Number 5. Should all know this one. Oh, I'll just mute it. That's Frozen, and Frozen was from... oh, no, sorry, I just got that wrong. It's Frozen is 2013. 2013 was Frozen. Okay, next one, probably one of the favourite films of all time. This is just a beautiful song. Now that is from Lord of the Rings. So if you got Lord of the Rings, give yourself half a point. But it's actually Lord of the Rings Return of the King. Return of the King. That's 2003. 2003, Lord of the Rings Return of the King. One of only 3 films to get 11 Oscars, with Titanic, not Chariots of Fire, Ben-Hur, that's the one. One actor is in 2 of those films. Right, next one. This is number 7. That was, of course, Jurassic Park, and that was 2000. That was 1993. That was 1993 with Jurassic Park. So, next song. Sorry, I'm all over the place. So that's Hip to Be Square by Huey Lewis and the News. That is from American Psycho. That's 2000. If this song has been in another movie and you got another movie and you're like, no, it was in, I swear, look, give yourself a point. But Huey Lewis and the News, and that is in American Psycho. That is the year 2000. Next one. This is number 9.
Start over again. You get the babies, but you won't have your man. While he's busy loving every woman that he can.
That's Young Hearts Run Free, and that was in Romeo plus Juliet, Romeo and Juliet. Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, and that was 1996. 1996. Right, last two. I'm sure you probably know the films.
Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Obviously, that's Simon and Garfunkel's Mrs. Robinson, and that's from The Graduate, which is 1968. 1968. And number 11, I think we all want to dance to it. And that is, of course, Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night Fever, which is 1977. Saturday Night Fever, 1977. So just to clarify, number 1 was Star Wars, 1977. Pirates of the Caribbean, 2003. Requiem for a Dream, 2000. Lego Movie 2, 2019. Frozen, 2013. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, 2003, Jurassic Park, 1993, American Psycho, the year 2000, Romeo and Juliet, 1996, The Graduate, 1968, and Saturday Night Fever, 1977. Okay, on to round 4, general knowledge. So, question 1, Keir Starmer is named after which politician? It's Keir Hardie, the founder and first leader of the Labour Party. So, Keir Hardie. Question 2, how many land borders does Italy share with other countries? It is 6. It's 6. France, Austria, Switzerland, Slovenia, San Marino, and Vatican City. 6. If you count Vatican City, which you should. It's the smallest country in the world. Question 3. In the field of rowing, a pair consists of how many oars? A pair consists of 2 oars. A double consists of 4. A quad consists of 4. And a quad consists of 8. And a 4 consists of 4. So it's 2. A pair. Who helped Jesus carry the cross after falling for the first time? Question number 4. It's Simon of Cyrene. Simon of Cyrene. My birthday is the 26th of October, which obviously everyone knows already. The famous battle that happened just before that, on St. Crispin's Day, a band of brothers. It is, of course, the Battle of Agincourt, made famous in kind of Shakespeare's Henry V, and made famous by anyone who knows a bit of history. Question number 6, Dame Ellen MacArthur beat the world record for the fastest solo circumnavigation of the world. It took her 71 days. If you really want to be, again, go to Pedantry Corner, it's 71 days and 14 hours. But there we go, 71 days. Well done. Beats 80 days. Question number 7, whose face is on the back of the new £20 note? It's William Turner. William Turner. Amelia Earhart is famous for what? Aviation. She was the first female to fly solo across the Atlantic. Amelia Earhart, an American aviationist. Question number 9. Richard Nixon's middle name. It's Milhouse. So if you love your Simpsons, it's Milhouse. And TikTok is a video sharing network originating from which country? It's China. China. It comes from China. So be careful if you're using TikTok a lot. They're probably harvesting your data, and every single video that you're making is probably up there. Just like for YouTube, really. And finally, just an added bonus. If you get it, you get it. If you don't worry about it. But favourite number is 2. Because when I grew up, I used to love Thunderbirds. And Thunderbird 2 was my favourite. So there we go, number 2. So total it up, it's out of 52. Thanks again. That's the end of the quiz. Thanks again for coming and watching this video. I'm hoping it's keeping you a little bit occupied, at least for about 30, 40 minutes. Total up your scores, send them round. I'll be interested to know who's got the highest score this week. But thanks again, stay safe, and I'll see you next week for another quiz, 4th quiz. See you later. Have a good week.